Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, August 3rd, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. But first, I do want to give a quick announcement here. This will be the last pre-market video of the week until Friday. So I will be out of the office for the next few days here. Friday will be the next pre-market video. Until that time here, you will have this video to help throughout the week here. So right now what we're looking at is the ES sitting at highs right now. You can see in the previous month here, because this starts a new month now, we have the previous month's high right there, the previous month's midpoint is here, and then we have the previous month's low price, which is back here. So that's the previous month's key levels there. We're clearly still in an uptrending market right here, and any pullback as deep as this midpoint right here could still be a buy for a continuation higher on a broader continuation basis. A failure to hold this level would open up downside targets into this zone. But right now everything continues to trend higher. The PEMA trigger zone continues to be defended. The PEMA trigger zone is between the 8 period and the 21 period pivot based EMAs. In an uptrending manner here, those areas are to be defended. In a downtrending manner, they would be defended in the opposite direction. So right now, building energy in here and pushing higher. We've talked about failed lows and how those can get the party started to the upside. Very deep pullback day on Friday, and just sitting right at the edge of perhaps more expansion to the upside. Now, one thing to keep an eye on will be the previous month's high and the previous month's close, because in this case here, if you have a rejection of both of those levels very quickly, there can be a quick return back toward the previous month's midpoint. So right now, we'll watch to see if there's any kind of rejection here. Otherwise, there could be more upside ahead. Keep in mind, in August, we do have a seasonal pullback that can tend to happen. And again, any weakness could provide a good buying opportunity for a move into September, October, and perhaps into the election. So we'll continue to watch to see how that develops. Alright, let's take a look now at the NQ here. Very similar price action right now. We had a reversal from the lower edge of the range down here back toward the upper end of the range. We talked about a move back toward 10.9 to 11K. We got that zone right here sitting right at around 11K right now. Could still see a test of the upper end of the range, 11.058.5, but it's very clear we've had a trading range market up here at this highs. We continue to hold the 10.400, 10.300 LVN, and that suggests more overall strength ahead. Again, we have higher value relationship with the pivot range here. We're sitting right at the previous month's high and close, so previous month's high is right there. That's previous week's high. Previous month's high is right there. And then you have the previous month's close right here. So again, you're right in the zone there, where if there's a rejection, then you would come back, and then it could be another buying opportunity back up. So right now, again, we'll continue to watch to see how price plays out at these highs. Let's take a look now at crude oil. You'll notice here with crude oil, this one has pulled back quite a bit. It put in a top a couple of weeks back, and since then it's had strong lower highs, big flush events. Right now we're seeing a 2-day range bound market here after this huge event down, and at the moment we got very close to getting that 38.50. We got these lows here. You have a little bit of a rounded top type of behavior developing, but as we recall, the July time frame here was very narrow compared to what we would normally see, which could mean that we could remain in that range, but energy is building for a breakout. And again, it's this lower zone right there, 38.50 or so, that if it can't hold, it opens up some downside. But this market's been fairly good at holding overall, and if it can hold 38.50, it has a shot to bounce right back toward 42s. This market hasn't wanted to stay above 42, so we'll have to see if we can get some expansion out of this range. So right now, the way that price is holding off the 39.50s here, especially 38.50, we could see an early push higher. Keep an eye on the FOMC key level, because any failure to get above 41.26 could be a lower high for another push downward. Lastly, let's take a look at gold futures. Gold reaching new highs yet again, 2009.5. This market continues to explode to the upside. This move through 1820 was huge, and it hasn't stopped yet. I mentioned before, as soon as we find a strong top, we may see a pretty good pullback that could give us an impulse range, or at least set the edges for the new distribution. You got this very thinly traded profile right there after the explosive move through 25s. So at times you have to go back and retrade back through it. So right now, again, keeping an eye on the previous month's high, previous month's close. If there's a swift rejection of those levels, the only two main levels to test down below are the previous month's midpoint here, around 1880s, and then you also have the previous month's low way down here. So again, watching to see, do we get some sort of digestion after a big move up, or do we get a little bit more of a pullback? Obviously right now this market remains very strong, so not looking to sell this market, but once a pullback does occur, it could be a great buy for a retest of the highs. So right now, very, very strong. We'll see how this plays out. Higher value relationship, just like the broader market here, and any pullback could still be a buy going forward. So continue to watch this here. Again, the fact that we're rejecting the previous day's high and pushing back below the previous session's midpoint wouldn't surprise me if we have some sort of open push lower that creates an outside day down, at least briefly for the day. But 1950 continues to be short-term support. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the new week of trading. Again, this will be the final pre-market video here for the week until Friday, where we'll have the next and last one for the week. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your week. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.